What do you mean Americans don't understand where they come from?
You lot don't know your background. African American. Where in Africa are you from?
Time you cannot say African American, you should say maybe Black American.
What do you think about the real authentic born Jamaicans are to say when they, because they know their history.
Yeah.
When they see this, they see you talking like this, what do you think they're gonna say about you?
What can they say?
Are you smarter than a 5th grader?
Should be. Of
What
course.
age is 5th grade though?
Year 6.
Yeah.
Are you smarter than year 6?
Should be, yeah.
Of course.
Are you positive?
Of course.
So I'm going to ask you guys a question. Everyone in the UK, who's done education, should know this answer to this question, yeah? How many adult teeth does a human have in his whole lifetime? Like, how many adult teeth? If you get this wrong, then you failed. I can't like you failed.
Yeah, it's 32. It's 32. It's 32.
Are you sure?
He said in his lifetime. Does he mean ones that could fall
With the
out?
wisdom teeth as well.
No, just the final teeth of an adult male.
Yeah, wisdom teeth, yeah, 32.
Are you sure?
Yeah, 33.
No! God, please, no!
It's not a number, it's not a number.
32.
My man says he's willing to die for 32.
I'm not 100%, but I think.
Are you sure? And you know what happens if this is wrong? You know what happens if this?
I can't confidently answer.
32.
It gotta be a unanimous decision.
32. It's
I can't
unanimous.
confidently answer. So
Decision unanimous. 32.
What's your name?
Kojo.
No, what's your What's your name?
What's your gobs, bro?
That's my name, bro.
All right, what's the
I was
answer?
laughing at my name. 32 teeth.
This guy's name is 32.
Kojo, 32 teeth.
Yeah, alright. You going with that?
Yeah, 32.
Oh my God!
32.
32. I'm not sure, so I'm gonna listen
Nah,
to
you gotta be.
Nah, I believe in my boy. It's 32. 32.
Bro, you going with that?
I'm gonna stick with 32 as well. I believe in him. I know.
Now
This
listen.
is what I planned. I know.
You know, if it's correct, all I ask, you gotta clap it up, make it lit. If it's not, you gotta look at his face, say 32.
Go clown my boy. Go clown my boy. Go clown me.
You gotta clown him.
Go clown
You
me.
down?
Down.
Your answer was?
32.
Guys, I'm sorry to say, you guys are correct! Wait, he said, hold on. He said it didn't go as planned.
For you.
For me. You want to see what it looks like when it goes as planned? You want to see what it looks like?
Well, you wanna ask another
I
question?
can ask you another
Go
question.
ahead. Let's go. You wanna go another question? One more question. Oh, how many minutes we got?
He got a minute. No, don't do that. He's trying to make you funny.
I'm not worried about nothing. I'm not worried about nothing. If I was worried, I wouldn't have came here in the first place. Ask another question.
How old are you? How old are you, by the way?
25.
23, yeah, 23.
Which? All right, listen. You want a question about Europe or America?
Whatever. Mountbatten, that's the answer.
Nope.
Yeah,
America.
I heard the other guys say.
Yeah. You want America?
Whichever.
Europe? So you two want America and you want to get.
I don't care what.
Alright, this is Europe.
I don't care what the question is. I don't care what.
Nah, it's up to him because he's
I
confident.
don't care what the question is. You win some, you lose some. I don't care what the question is.
I respect that. So answer this question.
This guy's gonna be stiff.
Answer this question. What is Black British culture?
Wow. What is black? There's not a definite answer. There's not a definite. Do you want my answer?
Nah, I want the answer.
There's not a definite answer.
No answer.
There's not a definite answer.
I feel like black British and white British, if you're not racist, it's the same thing. It's just British.
Black Brit? That's viral.
No, I'm not. How is that viral?
Man said Black British and white British.
Same thing.
It's the same thing.
If you're not racist.
That's crazy.
If he just said no.
Bro.
If you just don't know.
No, but
it's the same
look
shit.
at it, like Jamaica.
closer,
The
come
Jamaicans, they come here.
No, hold on. We want to hear his answer. It didn't go exactly to the plan. Hold on. He said it didn't go exactly to the plan. So let's see what it looks like.
I don't have a definite answer. I hold my hands up. It's fair.
I respect that.
Fair is fair.
You from the UK though? You from
Yeah, I'm
London?
from the UK.
Yeah, same.
All right.
Yeah.
You from UK?
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm black and white. That's what I'm saying. My black side and my white side is the same thing.
Naturally.
That's not black British culture.
So white British
And
culture.
no one can tell me what it is. I don't mean it like that. I just mean white British people and black British people. To me, they act and look similar. So
white British people and black British people act and look similar.
yeah, they're the same thing to me. It's the same thing.
They're the same. Hold on.
Depending on the ethnicity. Don't come to me like I'm some highlight.
Hold on, this is gold.
Let me answer again. Let me say my boy.
No, let him
Let me
finish.
say my way.
Let him finish.
Save yourself.
Black British culture.
Yo, hold on, give me a second. Oh, you trying to get them? Hey, turn the music down a little. Copyrights. Appreciate it, bro. Go ahead. Come
Black
closer.
British culture.
Yeah.
A group of black people from Africa, Caribbean. It's like a group of people in those continents, those regions that are together within England, the UK.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna give as my
So
answer.
basically, stealing other people's culture and putting a white man's label on it.
That's what you wanna say. That's what you wanna say. That's what.
That's what. No.
That's what it is.
You can't steal other people's culture and put the white man's label on it and call it Black British culture.
We didn't steal it. You're a part of it.
I'm not a part of it. I'm American. I'm from New York.
So did you steal it when you went to America?
No, we created our own culture in America.
So what do you think we did?
No, but we don't.
You don't.
We
That's
don't
what I'm
have
saying.
it like America.
What did they have?
Americans, yeah. If you ask Americans where they're from, they would say America.
Come. Good conversation.
Like they would say they're
Some of them say.
Where they originate from.
They just use
Hold on. Whoa. Come closer. Hold on. What do you mean Americans don't understand where they come from?
You lot don't know your background.
Yes, we do.
No, you don't.
Yes, we
It's
do.
not like how
on social media it's portrayed like you don't.
Somebody asked you where you're from. Where would you say?
I'm gonna say America.
Okay, so where are your parents from?
America.
Where were they born?
America.
They were born in America.
Yes, we're not immigrants. America. My great grandmother was born in
All of
America.
them are America. Where did you get your blackness from?
There were black Americans in America before Christopher Columbus came over and colonized America.
And where did they get their blackness from?
America.
That's what I'm saying though. You don't know your
Black is not a monolith. Black is not a monolith. You think that all? So hold on. So your stance like saying. So we can agree basically with that stance. You're saying everybody. They say everybody in the world came from Africa. Are you saying that?
Yeah, you can say that.
I'm not
I'm
saying
saying
that.
that.
You can say that. Yeah.
You can say that.
I'm saying that based on what I'm seeing from your skin tone. That's what I believe. That you're from America. You're from Caribbean.
But technically they say everybody's from the world's from Africa.
Anything.
So if that's the
anything could be
stance,
case.
then does that mean Asian people don't know where they're from? Chinese people don't know where they're
They
from?
know where they're from. They're called the Asian people. They know exactly where they're from.
If everybody stemmed back from Africa, how can you justify?
I didn't say everyone was. I said you. I asked you. I spoke to you directly. I asked you.
Yeah, but I'm from America.
Yeah, but
Well, you can't tell me where you're from.
Okay.
You can't tell me where you're from.
I can.
No, you can't. You can't prove to me that you're from Ghana.
I can prove it. I've got Ghanaian passport.
So what? You can't prove to me how many generations can you prove that to?
A lot.
No, how many?
All my generations.
You can't, and I
gone.
can tell you why.
No one else has gone. No one like.
I can say she said.
My grandfather was born in 1898. If my dad met his grandfather, it was born before 1898.
But you
What
don't
are
know
saying?
where. But
you just
hold
brought
on.
me something in
Hold on.
1891.
You don't know where he's born at.
He was born in Ghana.
You can't
Because
prove that.
My grandfather was born in Ghana.
You can't prove
I
that.
can because my dad was born in Ghana.
know what it is?
They all lived in Ghana. My dad was the first. My dad was the first person.
No, that's
On social
My
media.
dad was the first person.
On social media, what we see in England is in America, black men don't know where they're from. They all say they're American. That's why he's saying, oh, you all just say you're American because it's true. If someone asked me where I'm from randomly, said, where are you from? I'm half Iranian, half Jamaican. I would say that out loud. I wouldn't say I'm British even though I
You're
was
half
born here.
Jamaican.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Jamaica and Iran and Britain.
Hold on.
That's
No, exactly.
I'm British,
Exactly.
yeah.
No. You can't say that. You see how you, and this is where the ignorance comes into play.
That's
Hold
what I'm
on.
saying, on social media, that's
Hold
what
on.
it looks like.
All right,
That's what it
but
looks like.
I'm gonna prove to you.
That's what I'm saying. It's not true, but I'm saying that's what it looks
I
like.
know, but
It might not be true, man. That's what it
I'm
looks
gonna
like.
prove to you how the ignorance hits crazy. On the slave shit to Africa and Jamaica, you guys were in the same boat when it comes down to slavery itself. So when you sit down and say Jamaican, that's not a legitimate answer. Black American is more of a legitimate answer than
We
Jamaican.
don't name ourselves as black British culture.
I'm British.
That's
I'm British.
If
Where are you from?
If you're asking
My
what-
family.
You are British.
Yeah, my family is Jamaican and
Oh, yeah,
Indian.
you're British.
I'm
But
British.
should I say that you don't know where you're from?
I know where I'm from, but I would say
I wouldn't
I
say
know
that,
where my
we wouldn't-
ancestors.
How? You don't have.
Our culture is British. Because
Hold
we
on.
are brought up in-
Hold on.
in British culture.
I'm
That doesn't
only-
mean we're from Britain.
No, I agree with that. I agree. If you're born in Britain, you're British.
Born here, yeah.
Hold on. Come closer.
If
Come closer.
you're born here,
Come
you're
closer.
born into the culture.
This
Your
gap is
family
killing me.
not from-
As in, I'm
Hold on.
born here.
I'm saying, but if your family's from Iran and Jamaica, and then they come over to the UK,
You're British.
You were born. Yes, you're British by
That's why
title,
I'm
but
Iranian,
where you're from
Jamaican,
is from Iran and Jamaica.
That's what I'm saying.
Do you
I'm
get
all
it?
No, if you're born here, you're from here.
Yeah.
Your ethnic group might come from a different place,
that's
but you're from
yeah.
here. Now, this is where it comes into the sticky situation of people saying, "Oh, it sounds great, but can you prove with paperwork your lineage?" I can through genealogy. You can't.
I can, as far as my great grandfather.
I can
That's what I
prove
say,
from-
and that's part. I'm saying that's past.
He can't. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm saying he won't give you it. It's not going to happen.
No, it just sounds crazy though.
All I'm gonna say is, you brought me up stats of 1891. I'm only going based on the stats.
Yeah, that's only documentation that you have.
I'm saying you brought me up stats of 1891. I said my grandfather, to what I know that I can prove, was born in Ghana.
All right.
In 1898.
All right.
I said my dad. If I go to ask my dad and I get some what's it called?
And he met his father, so
he
so
met
you
he
know
met his
he's
great
from there.
he met his great grandfather.
All right, now I know
my dad was born in Ghana.
Hold on, I have paperwork that shows my great grandmother in America.
That is your great grandmother, born in 1872. That's your grandmother sitting next to her.
Where was she born at?
She was born in Virginia.
And the next one right here?
The next one, that is your great-grandmother, born 1906. And that's your grandmother sitting in her lap.
In Virginia.
All I'm saying to you is I haven't got the paperwork. I can't say that.
That's the point.
I'm saying I can get the paperwork for my grandfather. My dad is still alive. I can go to him and get the paperwork.
But that's only up to your great-grandmother.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's past the 1891 you showed me.
Yeah.
You just showed me 1891 to disprove what I'm saying. Am I wrong or right?
Hold on. First of all, you can get no. That's the census that verifies that particular timestamp and time. If you can get paperwork that proves that you know your great, that's cool. I got my great. Do you have that?
I understand that. So before
no,
that,
answer the question.
I'm saying
answer the question.
I'm asking a question because if I've saying something up until a certain time, you're doing the same thing. You're saying something.
No. The question, the statement.
Prove it from the beginning of your lineage.
Hold on. That's a good word.
That's a word.
No, but he got that from me because he just heard me say. He got that.
I'm asking you a question.
Hold on.
I'm going to a certain time.
Yeah.
To what time do you determine that it's okay for me to say that?
No,
because you're saying that.
No.
From 17
No. You're deflecting. You said this. Hold on. Hold on. You said your statement that you said was Americans don't know where they're from. That's a statement that you guys said.
No, you said the stigma is that.
No. I didn't say that. I didn't say. Thank you. No. He said. No. I got the video footage and we're gonna play it back.
If you ask Americans where they're from, they would say American.
Come. Good conversation.
Like they would say
some of them say
where they originate from.
So that's why they have their own. They just use.
Hold on. Whoa. Come closer. Hold on. We're gonna play it back. He said it. Yeah. He said it.
That they don't know where they're from.
I said on social
You don't
media.
know.
How many grades can you go back now?
I don't know, but I know.
How many grades?
I can't.
Wait, I got something.
Go ahead.
You see, my granddad, yeah, he's Indian. So what would you say about that?
India from Asia?
He's Indian.
Yeah.
I can prove I got Indian in me.
Okay.
So my point is, you're saying going back to history, I can prove just from my grandfather.
Yeah. Okay.
That I got Indian.
Okay.
So is my point valid?
I swear that look like Haroon.
You?
Somebody else.
But no, is my point valid? Like I can prove from my grandparents.
No, I understand what you're saying. But I wasn't the person that made this stance. He did, and then he co-signed it.
No, I said on
He
social
said
media.
it. He said it.
Saying what it looks like.
He said on social media.
So what date can you prove that you're American?
1700s. That's when America was founded.
I'm saying to the 1700s.
America was founded in
So
1700s.
before that, if you was found to be from another place, what would you say to that?
You can't confirm that.
So I'm saying if you can't confirm,
You don't know.
I'm saying wait.
No,
I'm saying
you don't know.
Do you know?
I know more about my lineage and genealogy than you do.
My question. I'm saying if you can't prove before that, if your lineage came up to be from this place, like let's say Ghana, for example, what would you say to that for what you're saying now? Because you can only prove to when you know.
Exactly.
And so if I can only prove to when I know, why are you not taking my answer the same as you're taking?
No,
yours?
I'm taking your answer into consideration, but I'm letting you apply that to the same thing. Don't use a double standard where it only applies to you. That's what you were doing right now. You're switching it.
You already proved that. No,
I'm letting you know. Hold on. This is recorded. It's recorded. All right.
I'm saying I'm only going based on you trying to disprove. Like me saying that, I can only find out I only know where I'm from based on X, Y, Z. You already proved yours. So I haven't had the chance to say, okay, I agree.
No, I'm saying you can only prove back on affirmative paperwork through the census that happened in Ghana in 1890. So, now, if you have personal paperwork that co-signs before that, that's cool. That's only 2 generations. That's your father and your grandmother. I have the same thing, but I don't have to go back to the census because Black Americans have been in America since over 1700s.
And I'm saying,
and we have proof.
I'm saying you can only prove it to where. Yeah, I'm saying you can only prove it to where you can go far. As far as. And I'm saying, okay, that's a new one. And I'm saying I can prove it.
They didn't. They didn't kill the Red Indians. They reclassified them as Negro.
On that note,
but that's why we're gonna go to facts.
you explained your point. I agree to what's called you saying, oh, you know where you're from, because you can prove it. I'm saying I can prove past the 1890.
You want to know? You want to know why? You want to know why you can only sit down and say that Black Americans don't know where they're from? Because there's a huge.
That wasn't my statement. I just could.
I know. All right. They're going to know why you say that. I'm gonna tell you why you say that. It's because when we say Americans, the original Americans, you think of the Red Indians, right? Right? That's in your head, right?
Not necessarily.
The Native Americans, you know, the Red Indians. America reclassified the Indians as colored and Negro. So when you say they don't know where they came from, they literally reclassified all the Indians as colored and Negroes. So when you're thinking of the Native Americans, this is what they look like.
Are you trying to see the camera?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is when we see interviews of Black Americans and you're like, where are you from? They just say America. They don't say, I'm American and my parents are this or my ethnicity is this. They just say, that's what it looks like.
No, you want to know why? Because we didn't immigrate to America.
No,
We've been here.
In England, when you just ask us where we're from, we're going to tell you, we're born here, but our parents are from on our ethnicity is. And we don't see that on social media. That's why I said on social media. In America, if you ask a black man where they're from, they just say, we're American. That's what I see on socials, personally. But if you ask an English or a black British person, they'll say, I'm from England.
Because you're immigrants. Your bloodline are immigrants to this country. We didn't immigrate there. We created America. You guys, who?
I'm just
who
saying,
immigrated? We did not immigrate to America.
You created America.
Yes.
Before that, what was there?
There were Black Americans there. Who did they colonize?
Have you done your DNA test?
DNA test does not confirm ethnicity. Genealogy does. I've done my genealogy.
Before that, how can you confirm that you was always there? Before that?
Because
before
we
where
have
you can
paperwork.
confirm to
We
you.
literally have paperwork
Before
of
that.
Black Americans.
Before that. Because there was still life before
Hold
that.
on, listen. The statement that he said that as I don't want to say. Hold on. Let me just clarify. Let's recap. Thank you. There's no country. In the 1700s, America was created. All right, it was founded.
They can't be from anywhere.
But then the Brits.
Who's it founded by?
America was the Brits.
The Brits,
And they colonized.
And I already agreed. I already agreed for your point that you're making for yourself. I agree, but there's a lot of Americans that would say the same thing as you, but it's just not true. That they actually have a heritage from an Afro-Caribbean, Afro place or Caribbean place.
Yeah, those immigrated over.
I'm saying some of those people have the same stance as you have on yourself. I'm saying based on what you've said, I can agree. Maybe your point, you've got your, you know what I'm saying.
I got my shit together.
I'm saying you got your shit together, but I'm saying. Our point was on the stigma of what many people in America.
I understand that, but that's ignorant. That's like you don't have you don't have your proper education in line to have that perspective. That's wrong.
I've spoken to people before, and then
but hold on. But then I say this.
I haven't had your answer.
But then I say this. I know who's Jamaican here, Caribbean. I know your history. Majority, most of you guys bloodline. Some of you guys came from the Windrush era that happened like after World War II. I understand how your family, your bloodline got over here. But majority of the people that are over here don't know the history of what's going on in North America. And that's okay to say, but to have this stigma say Black Americans don't know where they come from is crazy because we know our education and you guys don't. And it's impactful for us because you guys are over here spreading this false information to them.
We don't talk about Black Americans. It's just what
cap. That's cap.
Maybe social media influences people.
There are a lot of black people here that say that black people in America don't know where they come from.
But can I say something? It's not just about, you're the only person that I've ever spoken to that has come and said, I can prove my lineage to a certain point. The rest of them, a lot of them cannot.
Because you want to know why? You want to know why?
Do it.
But you want to know why? It's because we don't have this conversation in America. You guys do.
You just said that you do.
No. We don't ask people where you really from. Only out here. That's a racist propaganda. Psychological racism.
We're not taking that as racism. Because you, let's say.
Let me ask you a question. I got a question. Perfect. Y'all all from England, right? Yeah. What is the difference between English and British? Woo.
English and British. English. I would say.
Hold on. You got the camera, bro. I need you guys to come in. If you're gonna come in, you gotta come in.
From not to sound silly, but if you're telling me you're English, that means you're born here and your parents and so forth are born here. If you're British, to me that just means that you were born here and were raised in a British way. You know what I'm saying?
So was your parents born here?
No.
Whose parents was born here?
Mine were born here.
So I speak English.
I speak English. It's mad. No, it's mad though. I'm British, innit?
You're in that contradict what you said.
He's not English.
No, as in, his parents could have been born here, but their parents were some. Yeah.
How many years?
My grandparents weren't born here. They were born back home.
So hold on.
Your parents are the first generation.
How many generations do you have to be born here to be considered English?
I think is it 3?
I think it's crazy, right?
That's
Is it
a
not
techie
3?
one, you know.
3?
I think it's 3 or something.
That's a true question. I don't know.
Because from my perspective, as
I'm not gonna sit right now. I'm gonna
as,
stand there
as an American looking in, as an American, I think it's crazy that they don't allow you guys to call yourself English, you know? And it's like, okay, so when can you be acceptably called English? When is it appropriate?
I don't want to make a wild statement, innit? But I wouldn't want to call myself
Why wouldn't you want to
English.
call yourself English?
I don't want to
When you
talk
were
to
born
you.
in England, you could call yourself English.
So if you're born in England,
The other side.
call yourself
Let's be real though. The other side don't see it that way.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
so what's the difference between British and English?
British is a culture.
British is a culture.
Yeah, British is a
It's a
culture.
culture still.
So what's British culture?
Pub, beans on wait. The pub, beans on toast, royal family, Big Ben.
British culture is exactly what you're about to explain that you think we've stolen.
Nah. I don't know.
British culture is a way of living. Is a standard.
What do you think American culture is?
Innovation, musicality, art production.
Are we not that here as well?
But Black Americans, I didn't say you didn't, but Black Americans created majority of all the genres that you guys listen to when it comes down to music. You know, when it comes down to innovation itself.
No, you're right.
That's actually a fact.
Right.
That's a fact.
Even you see
Rap
that
music was created in New York, mate.
you see that light right there that's green, that goes yellow, green, and red? A Black American created that, and that's across the world right now. So when it comes down to what is Black American culture, it's American culture. But what is American culture? It's innovation, the next level, growing, success.
All right, who do you think's got better food?
America, 100%. That's not even.
Done here.
Then the UK? Hell yeah.
They don't really have their own.
You guys got beans and toast. Let's be honest.
I don't eat that. But
He said it.
You really look around here in the circle and think that we eat beans. I mean, I would.
Based on what you said, brother, I'm not gonna have it because that's a stigma, brother.
No, you don't eat beans and toast? Bro, hold on.
No, we actually don't. I eat beans.
Bro, I interview people all day. They tell me they like to eat with the cheese on top. With the
Yeah, when I'm hungry, if I want to make beans and toast, I'll make beans and toast. No. You can't say that. Though.
Yeah, that's not true.
Just because I like it don't mean I
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you.
No,
It's
it
how
isn't,
you
bro.
you
No,
grew
it
up on that
isn't.
sort
I'm
of
not
food, maybe.
So wait,
You like
so you think, so what? What's the difference between Black Americans and actual Americans?
Oh, all right. Oh, that's
Not actual America.
all right. So America is a melting pot of a whole bunch of different places, a whole bunch of different cultures itself. Black America is the catalyst that started the progression into the diversity effect. You know, so when you sit down and like, if you think about Black America in general, you think about any music that comes to your head, any art that comes to your head, anything in general, fashion that comes to your head, is all influenced by Black American
So
culture.
what made you call it Black American then?
Well, wait.
Because-
So
because
there's some fashions in the UK that Americans don't. Not necessarily mine, but I'm saying if you go to places like Camden, places like Bristol in England, they do not dress like that in America. They dress very roguely and very differently.
Oh,
I'm not saying
I'll
it's
be
a
honest
culture
with
thing, I'm just saying they
you.
just
I'll be
dress
honest with you. I wish that they'll bring back the old, Pinky Blonde style from the UK. I thought that was fire. I don't know why people don't do it anymore.
What that is?
You know what I'm talking about?
Suits and
Yeah.
granddad hats.
Oh.
You know what Peaky Blinders is?
Oh, Peaky Blinders.
Yeah.
Oh.
But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking more like the retro, the high-waisted jeans. I'm talking about more girls, to be honest. I don't know about the man them,
It's
but
like more gals.
this is how they dress in it in these places.
But there is a distinguished difference, and a lot of people don't realize in America there's so many different cultures that have their staple inside of it. They see America as just one thing. Americans, it's like, no, we're the lunchroom.
Huge in it, so.
Yeah, we're the lunchroom. We got Spanish Americans, we got British Americans. They all got their own little place. We got British people for the British people.
What does it take to be a Black American then?
Why is it
Foundation.
Spanish Americans and then Black Americans?
Because it's Dominican and Puerto Ricans who have completely different cultures and backgrounds.
Yeah, but I'm saying, why is it not their color? It's not a skin color to say Spanish American.
Black American, so Black American,
You say African American or
they're
Caribbean
different groups.
American,
They're
whatever.
different. There's different groups. I'm a foundational Black American. My family and my bloodline's been in America before America was even founded. I've been here, So I'm a foundational Black American. Who's African? If he travels over to America right now and gets citizenship and it has kids over there, his kids will be considered African American. Right?
Yeah, but you said Black
Hold
American.
on.
That's all I was
Yeah,
saying.
that's what I'm saying.
Why is it
They're not the same as me. I've been here for a very long time. My history and what they took away from us itself is black. So when people say black, we're not talking about the skin color. What it is an association to the historical history that's been taken around. That's the difference. That's our tribe. That's our tribe. Just like when you go to Ghana, you're Guyanese. That's your tribe. Nigerian. These are our tribes. So and I'm glad you asked that question because this is how things happen. The good conversations.
That's why everything I'm saying portrayed, not saying facts.
No,
Because I don't know the facts. I'm just saying
Still
that's
stands,
how it
though.
comes across.
You lot don't know where you originated from. Wait. No, it still stands. Listen. Listen. Okay, let's say for instance, yeah,
Where you originate from?
Jamaica.
Yo, this is going viral.
We just had this
All
convo.
right, hold on. You're from Jamaica.
Where they originate from?
Where-
Africa. I don't know.
You think? Hold on. No,
where
he
they
already started.
originate
You said you're from Jamaica.
Yeah.
Where did you originate from?
Is it a trick question, bro? I don't get it, bro. I actually don't get it.
You think that people originated from Jamaica?
No. You say Africa. We say Africa.
Where?
I don't know, man. I'm not.
That's what I'm saying.
Run it up! Run it up! Run it up!
Can you educate? Can you tell him?
Nobody knows. Nobody knows where they originate from. Everybody just speculating. It's all bullshit at the end of the day.
Let me see what I'm gonna say.
We act like we know.
From the beginning of this conversation, I think the problem that we have is what we associated with the what's called the culture.
Yeah.
And when we're talking about heritage, I think we mixed up the two in terms of what we were speaking about.
Sure.
When you've explained what's called Black American. When you explain Black America, you were talking about culture, not specifically heritage.
No,
so you weren't necessarily trying to prove that you were originally from America. You're trying to prove that you could say that you're part of Black
even
American
with the
culture.
census itself and the documentation that we have, it proves that we've been in America before that time. So that's an actual fact. I'm not. All the statements I said have been facts. I've never given my opinion.
I didn't say
I'm just letting you know. You can actually do the research on everything I'm saying, and it'll prove to be true. So we have been in America before America was created. People say that they don't know. Black Americans don't know where they're from. It's crazy. Because he don't know where he's from. You don't know where you from. They don't know where they're from.
I don't know where I'm from. I have an idea.
I'm going to tell you why.
I have an idea.
Ghana wasn't called originally Ghana before it was taken over by the people, correct? Huh?
It's called Gold Coast.
Yeah. So you can't tell me or prove to me that you've been in that particular place because your great could have migrated from a different place, which they did a lot in Africa.
Do you know when it changed?
Huh?
Do you know when it changed?
Yeah, when they split the whole place up. They did it with Nigeria as well.
I said, do you know when it changed to become Ghana?
What?
Gold Coast. Do you know when it was changed?
No, tell me.
No, I'm asking you. I'm saying, do you know?
I don't know much about Ghana's history.
Like Ghana's history and stuff like that.
Africa's a huge continent, so many countries, you know?
It is a.
But you can tell me.
That is a huge continent. It's not even. That's not what the point I'm gonna make. The point I'm gonna make is the tribe that I'm from. The tribe that I'm from has been around for generations.
Yeah.
The only thing I can't say to you is because I don't know the age gap between me, my parents, and their parents is very big. My dad's 88.
Yeah.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. His dad is born in 1898. I'm saying my dad knows his grandfather. And I'm saying his grandfather was born before 1898. I don't know specific dates. I've never really asked.
Yeah, that's
but I'm saying
great though, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying I can prove it to Dan. If I
video,
have to go and speak to him and find out, he might have the
no,
documentation.
bro, look, you're 100% right. But in this video, I'm gonna put a picture of my great-great-grandmother next to my grandmother. In this video, and it's a picture of my great-great-grandmother who's born in 1860.
I agree. I'm saying I'm not disproving anything you're saying. I'm just saying I can't necessarily approve
I respect
or
that.
disapprove what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, for my knowledge, I can
From
at
what
least
I
go
have
back to
this,
you get,
yeah.
and if the age gaps are what it's been, that would at least bring them to the 1830s, the 1840s.
I agree with everything you're saying. You got 3 generations locked down. I got about 4 or 5.
Okay.
We're both agreeing. We're in the same boat.
That's what I'm saying.
He's not agreeing.
I'm not. I'm still sticking with it.
You Jamaican, and you telling
that's
me
his personality. He's not just gonna agree with you.
I just want to know the logical reason why what he's saying. I just want to make it make sense. You Jamaican, and you telling me Black Americans don't know where they're from.
You don't.
Help me.
You don't. There's no explanation. I've already said what I said, innit? You don't. I'm sticking with that, bro.
He's standing on business. That's it. He's standing on what he said.
I'm
and
sticking with
that's
that. I've had.
What do you think? What do you think? You're not born in Jamaica, right?
No.
What do you think real Jamaicans who were born in Jamaica are going to think about what you're saying right now?
My parents weren't born in Jamaica. They're born here.
All right, so they Windrush.
My grandparents were born in Jamaica.
All right, so what do you think about the real authentic born Jamaicans are to say because they know their history.
Yeah.
When they see this and see you talking like this, what do you think they're going to say about you?
What can they say?
Bro.
What can they say, fam?
Bro, what do you...
What is wrong with what I'm saying?
You don't know history.
Tell me what I don't...
You don't know history.
Maybe I don't, but you don't as well.
No,
that's what I'm saying.
No, it's not... What? We're not in the same boat.
Bro,
let me tell you something.
Black Americans, specifically... Now, go get mad.
Get it off your chest.
Black Americans specifically don't know where they originated from. That's it.
Prove it.
I don't need to prove it. I'm saying you
How
don't
can you
know.
say this without proving it?
If I ask you where your parents are from, or your generation of your parents are from. You lot don't know.
Yes, I do. I just told you.
Where are you? Where?
My mother's from New York. My grandmother's from New York. My great-great-grandmother's
Can every black American say that?
A lot of them
I've
can.
literally had conversations with black Americans and they say they don't know.
Watch the end of this. Watch the comments in this video. Watch the comments in this video.
I will.
You're gonna see it. This is gonna hit viral.
I'm
saying, watch the comments in this video. And we're gonna see how many black Americans can tell you how long they're from.
Okay. I'm saying that it's from what we've seen and from what I've spoken to, the minimal things.
Yo, come here.
Not black Americans in general, just from what I've seen. You're one of the first black Americans I've ever spoken to, seen on social media, or anything that have said, "Oh, I'm from this place. I know I'm from this place."
But the problem is, you're from a whole. Hold on, I agree with you, but that's from all. We're from a different side of the world, so it's very difficult for us to communicate through this time. That's why videos like these are very educational and important. But when somebody has a complete stance like this, it's backed up by no facts. This is when things go viral and go crazy. That's diabolical. That's diabolical. That's diabolical.
I'll tell you what. Wait.
You guys are right.
I think you got your next video taken.
No. I think we got it.
They're ready. Look at them. They look serious as well.
Telling her it's you, and she's like, no, it's not him. And
Who you-
she's like, she's half. I mean, her dad is from New York.
Ah, what's up?
Street.
Fulton. Oh,
Yeah.
BK. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys can start in the video. Nice to meet you, bro. I appreciate the convo.
Yo. Hold on. Listen. What's one question? What's one?
No, we've been here
We
for
just
a while.
got one question to finish with.
Yeah. What's one question you want to ask? What's one question you want to ask Americans?
Where do you originate from?
Huh?
Not America. Where, if you're a black American, where do your parents
told you
originate
America.
From? No, I'm not trying to hear that. Where do you get? Where do you get your blackness from?
Come, yeah, educate him.
The blackness, his blackness, is simply from that there is African American and there was African way before even slavery. So you can't be staying in a dogma, making you believe that you were a slave. And what he's saying, most African American, and sometimes you cannot say African American, you should say maybe black American.
Thank you.
May not know where they may be originated with. But of course, if we say that all black must, or we take our blackness from Africa, the whole human race.
Thank you. That's what I said.
Well, that's my point, though. You don't know where. You
But
say
they cannot
Hold on,
know.
You say you're black. You say you're African American. Where in Africa are you
But
from?
he didn't say it's a comma that has been created after civil rights movement
Yes, Jesse
in
Jackson.
order, but you usually see people say black American. So
yes.
you may listen to Smokey Robinson, he has some interviews about it and he talks about that. So, but this is the thing,
She's
most
older, she's
British,
telling
I
you.
get what you're saying, but my specific point is, if I ask you where you are specifically from Africa, if you're from Africa,
can't
anywhere in black,
You
that's
can't
my
say
point.
that.
You,
Where
why
are
can't I
you?
say that?
Where are you from?
where are you from?
Jamaica.
I'm Jamaican. That's
Jamaica's
it.
not an answer.
But Jamaica, no. That's part. No. Jamaica is part of the Caribbean, okay? African American. You have Louisiana, for example, was part of Haiti, which is 2 hours away by boat to Jamaica. That's part of the Caribbean, okay? So because of slavery, most of West African, or because you wouldn't even find Eastern African, are all from that side of South America, the Caribbean, and some has been even taken to the Americas. So for example, Louisiana is French. But because of Haiti having the first nation to be free from slavery, because of that, they now become Haitian. But Haitian cannot tell you where they come from exactly in Africa. Jamaican cannot tell you where they exactly come from.
Thank you.
They will have a percentage of this place and this place
yes.
and this place in Africa, which have 54 countries. They may have that, and then from there you got the information.
Back up.
Back then.
Great job. Great job.
She always shows it to me.
Great job.
Back then,
Thank you, but it still don't break my point. It still don't prove my point, though.
Indians were found in Jamaica. Indians.
Yes, the what do you call it? The Tau, what's it?
I can't remember the name, but
No, comment ça s'appelle encore?
so
What
like,
language was that?
French.
Let's go.
So like in Jamaica, it was a mixture, I would say.
No.
'Cause-
So the Americas have Amerindians. Okay? So Christophe Colomb was not the one who found Africa.
Yes.
It was Abdullah, who's from Mali, where we come from, because we're Senegalese. Okay? Yes, originally, but Senegal only exists since 1960 because it was West Sudan.
Let's go.
You see what I'm
I love
saying?
this.
Okay? So because of that, you have 2,000 boats went to Africa 200 years before. That's the great-grandfather of Mansa Musa that you may hear of. Okay? So that's his great-grandfather. So the Moors of Spain took Christophe Colomb, and you'll find writings of Christophe Colomb telling you about how he went to India, which is the West Indies. But West India never existed.
You know, I gotta give. Are you learning? Are you?
She knows that.
All right, good.
But she's like, because just now we was debating. I said it's him. She's like, no, it's him. He's British. I said he's not. He's American. He keep telling you that's him.
No,
she didn't believe
I'm gonna
me.
be honest with you. You know, I love this. I love these type of conversations.
She's a real African American.
Ah, yeah. Oh,
There
yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
She's a real
Your father's from.
He's from New York.
Okay.
And he's African American.
Okay.
And I'm from Senegalese originally, but she's born in France.
Let's go. High five. Have you been to New York yet?
Yes, I have.
Have you loved it? Did you
We
like
lived
it?
in New York.
Ah. Look, I'll say this. You're in great hands. I'm not gonna lie. She knows. Like, I love this. I'm so happy you just came in here because you just educated a younger generation.
But it's good what you're doing. I love how you're doing it. And that's what when I moved in London as well, I was shocked when I asked somebody, where are you from, a black person? They're like, what do you mean? And they said, my parents? I'm British, but my parents. I was like, okay, I'm French, but I'm from Senegal. I know where I'm from. So that's the British kind of culture.
Yeah, it's just a little bit embarrassing. I'm like, let's just educate.
It's not really embarrassing because my son, he's born here, but both parents are from Senegalese, and he will tell you what. He will say to me, Mommy, I'm British, and he has an American accent.
Oh, Lord.
So when we're in the bus, people tell him, where you from? You from New York? He's like, no, I'm British. I'm from here. I'm born here. So he's only 7, 9. But I think Britain have something that makes the young British really belongs, which is different from us French European.
I just have one question for you.
Yeah.
I don't want to take up all y'all day. Y'all having a lovely day out. But what's one question or one thing you would like to say to the people that are watching this?
What I would like to say, research your history. Simple. And once you know history, you find a balance, you find a foundation of who you truly are. And then we are all from one race, which is the human race.
Thank you so much. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a great interaction, great vibes. These guys, that guys. We even chased the guy on the bus. Don't forget.
I want to take a picture with you.
Okay, no problem. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Let's get it.
Yeah, we got a crap.